Hi, I'm disability lawyer David Brannon. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about why is it that a deserving person can have their disability claim denied. After watching this video, you'll have a better idea of the kind of circumstances of when a person can lose what should be a winnable case. A deserving person is denied benefits. If you like this video, please help us out by hitting the like button and leave some comments below. Your comments will help because we'll be able to answer your questions, and that'll be good for you and for others who watch the video in the future. To make sure you see all of our future videos, hit the subscribe button and also the bell notification so you get a notice each time we put out a video. It is a common misconception that people have that if they are in fact disabled and legitimately meet the criteria for CPP disability, that their claim will be approved. And unfortunately, what I often have to tell people, or people learn the hard way, is that you can meet all the criteria for CPP disability. You can be deserving, you can be legitimate, and still not get approved. And that is one of the most hard realizations that people come to. And unfortunately for some people, they come to that realization too late. So a common question we get is, why does this happen and how can this happen? So I'd like to take you through that so you have a better understanding. Now, there are a few factors that we can go through, and let's take a look at them now. So the first factor is that you do not have documentation to support what your actual disability level is. Your claim will not be decided based on the truth of the situation. Your claim will be decided based on the paperwork that is given to the claims adjudicator or the judge. It's not only the paperwork. They will listen to you and you can add some information too, but for the most part, your claim is going to be decided based on the paperwork that is in front of the judge or the claims adjudicator. To the extent that that paperwork does not fully demonstrate and show what your actual disability is, your claim can be denied. It's one of these technicalities of a court system that is very frustrating for people, but it's easily fixed if you understand how the process works and how cases are decided. Now, another broad reason that a case can get denied is based on something that makes you look like not a believable person or someone who has done not all they could do. You have to be believed by the person who's deciding the claim in order for it to be approved. So it's not enough that you know the truth of your situation. In their mind, they have to believe you because some things can't be documented on paper. The level of your pain, whether you have really tried as hard as you can to work. Some of these things they're going to have to rely on your verbal testimony and believing you. Maintaining your credibility is extremely important. So one of the reasons we see people who are deserving and who should be approved get denied is because for whatever reason, their credibility is not great. They're not believable, even though they're a truthful person. Now, I know that may seem like a bit of a contradiction, but let me just give you some examples. Common examples would be when you're a legitimate person, but there are red flags from the decision maker's point of view. If I was your lawyer, the first thing I'd be doing when I got all your information, I would be scanning and looking with my little highlighter, looking for these red flags. Because the first thing I know that we have to do is identify all the red flags, and we have to address them. Because if we don't address these red flags, they're going to result in often a deserving person maybe being denied. So what are some of these red flags? A common red flag, if you have refused treatment anywhere along the way. You may feel it was justified, the treatment wasn't any good, you were busy, you had other health problems, you had to do this. I've heard every excuse and reason under the book. Sometimes people don't even remember that they refused. Usually how this is going to show up is there's going to be somewhere written in one of the medical records that this was recommended and the patient refused. Or more commonly, they'll have that the physiotherapy clinic, that treatments were stopped because the attendance was erratic and they just stopped showing. We called them, they didn't return our call, so we just discharged them. Or that it was your doctor recommended that you go get psychology and you didn't take any steps to follow up on that. Okay, if you're into any of these situations where something's been recommended and you didn't run with it, if you're not the person running with it to try to make it happen, that's going to be a red flag. And so one of the first things you need to be able to do is correct these red flags. Another common red flag is there's any indication that you did not really try hard to stay in the workforce. The way this usually happens is someone becomes unable to do their own job, they stop work, and don't try any other work. And they, in the course of leaving, they didn't really try working part-time or trying to ask the boss for accommodations. So saying, well, can I sit more? Can you transfer me to this other place? If none of those things were done and you just worked, and when you couldn't do any more work, you just stopped, and then the only basis you're saying is that you can't do other work is just saying, well, I couldn't be able to do it. I know I wouldn't be able to do it. Not going to work. That is a red flag. You have to have a situation where you're able to show that your actions speak louder than words. Like you took all these actions to try to remain in the workforce. If you can't point back to all these actions, then it's going to be a problem. You may know, well, I didn't do it because I knew it wouldn't have worked. Unfortunately, that's not good enough because that relies on them believing you that it wouldn't have worked. And one of the biggest, things that the other side will use against you is, well, he didn't even try. She didn't even try. They didn't even try. That is the kind of language that is very hard to overcome. The fact that you didn't try will be enough often to cause a deserving claim to be denied. So the final reason we see that deserving claims get denied is more about case presentation. And one of the biggest case presentation errors is someone presents their case so that their disability onset date falls outside, so it falls outside, you're on this side or on that side, it falls outside of their minimum qualifying period window. If you do that, your claim will be denied because you can't be approved for a claim if your disability onset date falls outside of your MQP window, minimum qualifying period window. There's a lot of mechanics to this and technicalities, and one of the key technicalities is that the onset date needs to fall within the MQP window, and that's something that is not even on people's minds. If you're not careful, you will present your case completely wrong. Your doctors will think they're doing the right thing by emphasizing all these things that happened over here, but those things over here are outside of your MQP window. Like your MQP window ended in 2014, and these things are in 2018, and not good, because if this is your disability onset date, you don't get benefits. Often it is legitimate to put the disability onset date back here. People just do it later because they think it's easier, because there's maybe something happened or things got more severe, but they don't understand that they would have to have it back here to be approved. So there you have it. Now you know how it can be that someone who is deserving of CPP disability benefits can still be denied. Now, if you like this video, please go ahead and hit the like button. You can also leave a comment is great. That helps both you because we'll respond and give answers, and also it'll help other people who watch the videos. To make sure you keep getting our videos in the future, hit our subscribe button and also the bell notification. That way you'll get a notice every time we post a new video. Now we look forward to seeing you back next time. Keep watching our videos to learn more about CPP disability and what it takes to win benefits.